why Africans don't really like us? Well, I was married to an African. I remember we was having a conversation and I said to him, it just really seemed like y'all don't really like us. I was showing him a video. I said, this is what they show us of y'all, that y'all hungry, your ribs is hanging out.
This video is about how Americans thought Africans over in Africa were homeless because of commercials that she is talking about in the video of them hungry, starving. They were showing like the flies on a baby, all the above, thinking that they live in huts. They run through the forest chasing wild animals, hunting with spears and things like that. And the Africans in this video is going to be like, that is a lie. We have stores, we have malls, we have, food, all the above. They were lying to y'all in those commercials.
So I showed him the video of one of those commercials they would show us like 3 a.m. Could you spare $1? He said, that is not us. He looked at that video, he laughed, and he said, who is that? He said, that is not us. He said, that's not them in Africa. That was never them starving. I said, what? So then I said, well, what is they showing y'all of us? He said the movies that they see of us is that we are, our men sell drugs, which they do, but they sell drugs and they just murder anything walking. They murder everybody. And so I said, well, what they show y'all about us? He said, they show them that we're prostitutes and we get high. And I was like, what?
Wow. And I know we're all not perfect over here in America, but to make it seem like every single last one of us are drug dealers and prostitutes that get high is crazy as hell to me. And that's the reason why they felt the way they feel. Like, no, we're not over here starving. We're not over here, homeless, living in huts and all the above. They were feeling like we were feeling. And it's just strange, like, to me, and I could be wrong, that makes me feel like that they're trying to divide us and make us where we're like, oh, I don't want to go to Africa because everybody's homeless over there. It's not beautiful over there. And it makes the Africans feel like, I don't want to go to America because they're all bad people. They sell drugs and the women are prostitutes.
And so then he said when he went to get his papers from immigration or whoever he get the papers from to come here, he said they told him, don't marry a black woman. You be better off marrying a white woman. So when we're looking at this separateness that we have amongst each other, it was inbred in us. It was inbred to them to fear us. So they fear us and don't like us. We got to wake up, y'all, and come back together and unite in unity. There was things that was done and said to keep us apart. Ashe.
You about to raise my blood pressure. Because if it's one thing I'm going to do, that's advocate for Mama Africa. Now let's talk about some of these preconceived notions. They want you to believe Africa is poor, dangerous, and broken. And that narrative is outdated and it's intentional. Africa is one of the most resource-rich continents on the planet, holding vast reserves of gold, diamonds, cobalt, rare earth metals, and the raw materials that power the global tech economy.
And see, that's why I feel like they didn't want us to know these types of good things about Africa. Like the first lady said, they showed us those commercials to brainwash us to be like, oh, I don't want to go to Africa. It's a poor continent. I can't survive over there. I don't want to live over there and starve to death. They want us to think those things because they don't want us to go over there. And like I stated earlier, it's like they want to keep us divided away from each other.
Not to mention, it's also the youngest continent in the world. And 60% of its population is under 25, meaning it's literally the future of innovation, creativity, and labor is already taking shape across the 54 countries. Or is it 55 countries now? But anyway, it's also home to the oldest human fossil. Africa is the blueprint. It's the cradle of modern humanity.
When I first came to America, one thing I couldn't wrap my head around is how Americans view Africa. Like, no matter how much, the way they talked about, I couldn't believe they were being real. But bruh, being here for a couple of years, I'm just saying, I'm starting to see where they're coming from. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that right on how they view Africa, because these people genuinely think we live in huts or village houses. Like if you tell an American you're from Africa, they'll be like, oh, so how was it in your little village or tribe? Like that. They don't believe the cities there. Anyways, that was until I saw the adverts they have on TV. When I tell you, bruh, you won't recognize your own country.
Listen, I'm going to tell a story and I hope it's not long. I kid you not, he is not lying. When I was a little girl, they used to show advertisements all the time about, feed them, they're malnutritious, they're hungry, and they'll show the baby standing there crying. No disrespect to you all, with the flies over his face. And I kid you not, I used to break down in tears and literally start crying as a little girl. And I used to ask my parents, well, can they bring them over here to where they can live a better life and get food and get the medicine they need? One time, you guys, I begged my parents so much for $40 to send over there to them. My parents gave in and gave it to me. Now, I don't know who got the $40 over there. We sent the $40 off. I met a girl when I got in middle school. She was from Africa, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I asked that girl, how was Africa, how did you live over there, are you all poor? And that girl looked at me like, bitch, or are you crazy? No. She was like, no, we're not poor. We have stores just like you do. We have homes just like you do. We have beautiful areas over in Africa just like you guys have over here in the United States. And that was like a wake-up call for me. Like, wow. So they lied to us all these years, like that. Oh, everywhere over in Africa was poor. Crazy.
I used to see adverts like, oh, help a child in Uganda for $1. You can help a starving child in Uganda. Me personally, I've never been to Uganda. So I was like, maybe that's how Uganda is. Until I was watching another ad, and I felt so sorry for the kid. They have a child there. He's there pointing at his mouth for $1. You know what I mean? They make it really sad. And then at the end, I hear, help a kid in Zambia. Bruh, even I didn't recognize my own country. Where do they go to shoot those films? I've never been there. Where they filmed that, I don't know where that is.
The way the American media made it seem like Africa was just people living in huts everywhere. And quite literally, Africa is gorgeous. Like, when you actually look at places, Africa's fucking gorgeous. Why the fuck did y'all not show that to me growing up? Like, literally growing up, I thought everyone who was in Africa lived in a hut. I didn't know that there were beautiful parts of Africa at all, because that just wasn't being shown.
No, they were not showing us things like this over here in America. And that's why I feel like when a lot of Africans came to America to live, I seen a lot of them in the comments saying that they don't like African Americans because we bullied them when they came over here, when they were in school and just in general. And we should not be bullying. I'm big on the no bullying ish because it's stupid as hell to me. But that's why a lot of them was bullying them, because they were like picking at them like, oh, you homeless and you don't have no place to live and you having to come over here to live, which is straight BS. They have homes over there. They have mansions. Some of them live in mansions, all the above over there. And I think it's just crazy that they were showing us those type of things over here when they were a lie.
But they still exist. I'm like, bitch, why were we not seeing that? Like, I clearly didn't know that Africa was beautiful like that. And y'all clearly did that for a reason. Like,
many Americans were never shown the real Africa. When they think of Africa, they think of safaris, poverty, and underdeveloped cities. Let me explain why many of us think that way. A lot of Black people in America grew up being shown only poverty and struggle when it came to Africa. We weren't taught about the modern cities, the diverse foods, the culture, the wealth, the joy. That was by design. The goal was to disconnect us, to make us feel we don't belong here. So when I share things I didn't expect, it's not disrespect. It's me unlearning the lies we were taught. It's me celebrating the Africa we should have known all along. I'm learning, and I'm here to share what I discover. So maybe the next Black kid in America knows that Africa isn't what they told us it was. It's so much more.
Did you guys know that most Americans think that Africans are very poor? Like poor, poor, poor. Like we live in hut houses. Whenever start sleeping, it's like they think that we live in hot houses in the forest with wild animals. Are you guys okay? Are you guys serious?
This is why I'm glad now that we have technology at the tip of our fingers, to where now if you can't travel outside of the United States, or you just can't travel from anywhere else to another country, continent, or etc., you can actually get on your phone, your laptop, computer, whatever, and actually see how it looks in those areas. We don't have to go by commercials on TV anymore, them lying to us. We can actually see it with our own eyes and learn the truth that we were getting lied to with these damn commercials.